Yes, everyone, episode 25. And this week we find out who the new Bond is going to be. And it got us thinking, who are the biggest and best heroes and villains? From childhood heroes to real-time war heroes. And we look at the best villains in film history.
Choose the fact.
Boys, and boys. We're back.
Girls too. Welcome back, boys.
Episode 25, quarter century.
My goodness me. Oh, special one.
Not out.
There we go. And this week, we're going to jump straight in to Mr. Clayton Cinema Club.
Oh, yes. So, actually, the theme for this week's episode is... Drum roll, please. Heroes and villains. Ooh. Yes, very ambiguous.
Which side of the fence are you?
Yeah, because everyone's one, by the way. Everyone's one of those two things.
Someone's always got to be the bad guy.
Someone's got to be the bad guy. I'll be honest, this theme came about purely, and I do mean this, because the announcement for who's potentially going to be the next James Bond came out last week.
I'm trying to replicate the chord there.
Oh, is that what? I was just letting it go.
Yeah.
Letting it be what it
The
was.
one chord.
E minor. E flat, maybe. One of the two.
Well, you could say the announcement was a bit flat for some people, couldn't you?
It's totally the man that doesn't have any social media. It's completely passed by me. So please, this is news to me.
This is what I wanted to see, if you even knew anything about this
No,
at all.
nothing.
So it's Catherine Tate.
Yeah.
Catherine Tate's the new Bond. You heard it here first.
This was always coming, by the way.
We knew
You
it was
should've-
coming.
Yeah, come on now.
You make a CV that you can't be ignored, you know?
Yeah.
It's uncompromising.
It's bound to be a woman.
So, we'll get easy now. So it's Aaron Taylor Johnson is the guy that's been officially offered the role, and you may know him from
Kick-Ass.
Oh,
Once Upon a
I
Time.
watched that ages ago.
Yeah.
Don't know. Couldn't put it. If I fell over him in the street, I wouldn't know who he was.
You probably wouldn't. Bullet Train. Did you watch that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, quite good.
It's a good movie.
He's also in... Yes.
Wait, what's his name again?
Alan
I was going to
Taylor
say he was
Johnson.
also in, and it was the role in Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Alan
gotcha,
Titchmarsh
gotcha,
is the
gotcha.
first one that came.
Well,
Titchmarsh
that
is the new
speaks
Bond.
volumes to your Google,
So
doesn't it?
he's actually from Liverpool originally.
Yes, he is.
He's dating a woman who's like 15 years his senior as well. I think.
Yeah,
or
believe
married to,
she's
sorry.
just about 60 years old, or just a little bit
That's
under.
her, I guess.
Yeah.
Looks like a Les Mills
Oh,
trainer.
Les Mis.
No, like Les Mills. Les Mills.
Body
the gym.
pumping like a David
Oh,
Lloyd.
God. Right. I took that in the wrong direction completely. I personally think, by the way, he's going to be a solid choice. I think it's an interesting choice. They're putting him in a lot of things now. One of the other things he's going to do this year is Kraven the Hunter, which no one's going to care about because it's a Spider-Man villain. But I think he's got the chops for it.
Well, he might be in a lot of things, but he won't be in a lot of things for long.
Because
if you take the Bond role,
That's what happens.
I mean,
all you do.
you name me a good Daniel Craig movie in the last decade, you can probably get 3 out. And that isn't because he's a bad actor, because he just doesn't have time to do the roles. And I think this is probably why Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. Johnson. ATJ, let's call him that.
Let's call him Aaron.
Yeah.
Big A. Aaron. It's probably why he's got it, though, because I don't think he's anyone's number one pick.
So I think that's something I've been talking about. Like, no Bond in history has been at the height of their career when they've been chosen to do Bond. So when people were putting out names like Tom Hardy and Henry
right.
Cavill or whatever, I was like, that's not going to happen. It simply isn't going to happen. Even like the Idris Elba, which is the outside
they need to make
shell.
a
They
Bond.
become
Yeah, you can't
that
be
person.
someone else and then a Bond,
Yeah.
don't it?
Yeah.
You gotta be the Bond.
Whereas Aaron has certainly done some bits, but you're absolutely right. He's not a household name.
He's in the same category as Pierce Brosnan was, as Daniel Craig was, maybe.
spot on. Yeah.
I mean,
what Daniel Craig done by then? Leia
Road to
Kate?
Perdition.
Had he done Road to Perdition before he did Casino Royale?
Yeah,
Fair.
I think that was mid-noughties.
Fair.
But yeah, Leia Kate was probably the one that got him in there.
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
films do you need to do? If you get selected for Bond, how many films have you got to do?
I suppose it depends on the contract.
think it is
Because
a
if
contract
they
thing.
can't get it, no, but they can't get it wrong, can they? They
Daniel
can't go,
Craig
oh,
was
you've
trying
done
to
one
get-
and you were a bit shit, so we're
Dan
going
Craig was trying to get out of it after he'd done the second film. He was over it, didn't want to do it. Like, quite famously wanted to get out of that role for years.
It's multifaceted as well, so it depends on like the story arc and the directors.
Yeah.
So they might be like, right, we're gonna do a 3-movie buyout of Sam Mendes with this screenwriter, because all the stories now are made up, right? It's a new story each time. They're not following the Fleming books because they're so modernized now. He wrote them in the 50s. So there is an element of that. I imagine he'll be locked in for at least two
So we've
movies,
got him
maybe
whether we
more.
like him or not.
Well, yeah, because why would you make this appointment without longevity? Because it stops the storyline. And as you know, I'm going to give a spoiler out here. Bond died at the end of the last movie, as most people will know. So
I haven't seen it, but
so how are we picking up on that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's a whole.
Well,
it could,
this is the interesting because it's a new issue, right? Because previously there wasn't continuity between the films.
No.
You weren't. Pierce Brosnan wasn't the same. You know, it wasn't leading from GoldenEye into Tomorrow Never Dies, right? That's not how it works.
there was a bit in Daniel Craig's at time.
His had a proper follow through, not a proper. Sorry, that's pretty too extreme. But yes, there was a follow through to a certain degree. So I don't know if they go down that same route again. Yes, they're going to lock him into multiple films, but they might do what they did with Timothy Dalton, or maybe have him in like one or two. He's the one guy that's only in one of them.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton did. I think he did more than one. There's one guy. George Lazenby.
George Lazenby,
did just the one.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Yeah,
Lazy B.
it's such a
Terrible.
yeah. Get to work, George.
Want to film too much for you?
It's such a big announcement, though, isn't it? When Bond comes out,
Huge.
it's just like people have been talking about the first Black Bond with Idris Elba, and also the mixed race guy from Bridgerton. Who
People love that guy.
People love
What's
that
his
guy.
name?
They were also talking about maybe the black woman the actress name I do not know, who essentially was Bond's understudy in the last film. And we're kind of thinking, oh, well, they're actually going to make, and I'm really glad they didn't do that.
Well, there was enough furor about even the prospect of it that they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, and look, there's nothing racist or sexist at saying Bond should be a white man, because if you disagree or not, but I think that character is etched in. I think a black man would have been fine, but I think it has to be quintessentially British. That is part of his DNA, that character. Yeah. So whether that is a black British man, that's fine. So backtracking on what I said a little bit, but what I mean is like just changing every facet of this character to weave in a box tick for me would have been such a shame.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree to the full extent that you would need to completely change the character, because there's no reason that Idris Elba couldn't be the Pierce Brosnan, or probably more likely a Sean Connery-esque Bond. Daniel Craig, for me, when he got cast, I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because that wasn't Bond for me at all.
No.
So I get exactly where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily think that it's like needs to be quite as pinned to the race to say that this is like quintessentially what is British and what isn't, because I guess that has pretty changed over the years. But
it has. But it has to have. He has to be suave. He has to be good at speaking. He has to have them punchlines. He has to be a believable action hero now, because that's how the films have.
But Idris Elba got all that, by the way. This is not me advocating for Elba as Bond, because I don't think he would have worked as Bond either.
And I'm not saying these things to discredit that either. I'm just saying these are the things that I think a Bond needs to be. Yeah. And for my opinion, the best balance was Pierce Brosnan, because he had that. Yeah. He's fucking gorgeous man for a start. So the women fancied him, the men wanted to be him. I think that's a really crucial part of Bond. And also, I think Daniel Craig lost a little bit of the comedy with it. So I really hope they bring a bit of that back.
Yeah, give me a laser watch.
Yeah.
Give me some karate chops.
Yeah.
I want all of that business.
Yeah. You know, when he goes
back to
when
Bond,
Pierce Brosnan goes to Q and he's like, what's this? Is it a bomb? And he's like, no. That's my lunch. And it's the most like oversized baguette that's been made. Like if you watch that scene back, pay attention to the detail of this baguette. Like you'd ever leave a sandwich just out in the elements. It would be wrapped if you hadn't eaten it yet. But it's like this long. It's just a great scene. I'll pop it up.
It should be wrapped at least.
Because you don't stale sandwich, do you? So
speaking of Q's lunch, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of why I even brought that. Was good, by the way.
Yeah,
you might like that. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of why we thought about heroes and villains. Because is James Bond even a hero?
Yeah.
Or is he somewhere in the murky waters in between? And this
He's
is where I got
definitely
to
the good guy.
He's the good guy
in terms of the premise of the movies.
Yeah, maybe not morally and ethically the good guy,
but I think it's been going since the 60s, and there's some things that were fine then that aren't fine now.
Good and bad certainly changed a little bit.
That's a rhetoric that we really need to understand. Sean Connery used to slap a woman before he kissed her, right? And actually, if you've read some interviews, he kind of doubles down
acting,
as a man.
He
said things like a woman should get a good slap from time to time. Like he is as old school as it comes.
He got asked that question like 10 years later.
No,
in his
like
career.
in the 90s, wasn't it?
He got asked it again 10 years later, and they said, have you changed your stance? And he's like, no. He's like,
Did I stutter?
Men like him don't go back on those.
No.
Come on, let's
no.
face it.
He shows when he's not
And
backing down.
he's
My
got
God.
too much good faith in everyone anyway. So it's one of
And
the.
by that time, when he's 10 years older, he's in like the
he's
age where you
too
don't
old
need to
to
give.
give-
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, yeah.
He's doing The Rock, yeah.
But yeah, we were saying this, weren't we? So he's sexist.
Yep.
In some respects, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
He's misogynist, which I slightly link, but different. He is an alcoholic. He's a gambling addict, and he's got a penchant for danger and taking the rules into his own hands. Also, the rules that affect the whole world.
Yeah.
He's just going. Nah, don't
That's not for me.
What was that? The whole of the British and American intelligence service have deducted that this is the thing we should do. I've got other plans. Drop it in a second, baby.
And in the words of America or Family Guy, he says 50 no's and a yes means yes. That's not the good guy of the story. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's a good point. So do you
Look at
think
the ass 50 people, isn't it?
he's a hero?
Is the good guy, like you said. I don't
Yeah.
think he's a hero, but I don't think they're after a hero. He's not saving anything. He's just. He's
Apart
just,
from the world,
Nah, he's just.
he saved the world a few times.
He's just stopping a bad person. He's not like saving.
What I love is every time he saved the world in the old ones, like for most human beings, there would be a moment of, oh God, thank God that's over. Like it doesn't matter if you rock hard, like some of the things he'd been through, to come out the other side unscathed, you'd be like, oh God, thank God for that. He just shags.
It's a Tuesday. Yeah.
But that's why he's James Bond, though, isn't
He
it?
just shags. He thinks now's the
He
time.
puts the hair back, grabs a.
A damsel in distress.
No, I was gonna
I
grab a
thought that-
drink.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But
In his
also
left.
that too.
I thought you meant breast.
A drink in one hand and a woman in the other.
One's a whiskey, one's a tit. I don't quite care which way round it is, but
God.
get him in here.
Somebody please combine that technology, by the way, because that's the future I want to live in.
One's a whiskey, one's a tit.
That's awful.
What do you think then, Ben?
I actually think that last point you made is actually really, really good. And did they even need a hero specifically, or do they just need the guy that gets it done? Because the whole line
Yes.
of work, I guess, is like grey, isn't it? It's like
MI5, isn't it,
murder when you need to.
Yeah, it's at your discretion.
It is at your discretion.
Yeah.
License to Kill, I guess, was the earlier thing.
Yeah.
It isn't really spoken about as much later, but that's
This is the mission, whether you choose to accept it. The how
Mission
I'm going
Impossible.
the how I'm going to accept it part though is
Yes.
up to But all these one man army films, right? They're all have that same crux of this guy takes it into his own hands.
So is Statham a hero, or is he the same?
Statham
same thing?
is a hero. I mean, if you look at his life, he went from being a diver to marry Rosie Huntington-Whiteley and being in many movies with no acting talent. I mean, if that's not a hero,
And he just
I'd love
takes
to
his
see
dog
what-
Oh, have you not seen Crank?
Yeah.
He deserves all the
Which
credit
one?
he gets. Crank 1 and Crank 2
Yeah,
are
'cause-
unbelievable.
God,
It's just such mental films.
ridiculous. So, heroes and villains. We got Bond coming out. We're really interested to see how they scrub him up as well because he's a little bit dishevelled at the moment. He's a handsome
what
man,
you're saying. Yeah.
but he goes for that
got long hair, innit?
He's unkempt.
He loves a pout as well, by the way.
Yeah.
You've seen some of them pictures of him.
So
My
I'd be
goodness
interested to see. You've got to give him a short
Imagine
back
being
and
told
sides.
you've
It's gotta
landed
be
the
short
James
back and
Bond.
sides. Yeah, it's got to be short back and
Brosnan had
sides.
a little bit of something going on, didn't he?
He had the style of the time.
Yeah,
but
in
his
the
hair's pretty timeless in those films, I'll be honest.
He's just. I love Brosnan.
He's what you'd call a hunk.
Yeah.
I think.
Because he's not got. He clearly doesn't go to the gym, but he looks great.
He's
topless.
got some chest.
And
He's
it's
got
like-
a bit of
He's got the right amount of chest hair that like I would never want, and I would make it look awful. But I watch him and go, oh, bloody ass.
That's what happens when you only drink margaritas.
Yeah. Is
know,
that what
it's
John
not-
Bond
No,
drinks?
I don't-
Margarita shaken,
I'll,
not stirred, isn't it?
Margarita.
Wait, no, which one was it?
That's James Bond. James Bondino. That's James Bondino.
James Bondino.
Double O Siete.
It's a Monday night, man. I leave it alone.
Drinks in
Margarita
a martini.
shaken nuts.
Yeah, that's it.
Shaken nuts. The boldness to go up to a bar and ask for a margarita shaken not stirred, by the way. That's how they come, mate. Sit
That's
down.
how they come. You bloody idiot. Sit down and shut up.
That's wrong on many levels. Brilliant.
So imagine 3 years until that movie comes out then.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. If he even says yes, by the way, because I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. He hasn't said yes yet.
He'd be
I
dumb.
believe.
He'd be dumb not
He
to.
would be
Because
smart.
he's at the right point of his career to take it on.
The money would be,
Yeah.
It would sort him out for life.
And I think the thing that's probably more pressing is who's going to be the director, and it's got to be Chris Nolan's got to put his hat in the ring. That's what that franchise needs.
It needs it. Would he do it? I don't think he would.
No, I agree with you, but I think
It would be great for James Bond franchise. It would be unbelievable, actually.
Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
Has he filmed Bond before? Has he?
No. No.
He's just probably like.
Now you've gone into
did
directors.
Tenet.
I know.
He's probably top 2 directors.
I've heard of his
right
name.
now.
He's the hottest
gotcha,
director in the world right now.
What's
It's
he-
so hot
what's
right now.
his-
hot right now.
Is he?
He just did Oppenheimer. He did June.
The Christian Bale Batman movies. They're all under his umbrella.
Shutter Island was Christopher. No, that was Scorsese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is why you're the movie buffs.
Inception. Tenet. His films are often confusing. That's kind of the premise.
You've just listed confusing films.
But I like Tenet. We like Tenet.
I like Tenet as well. People didn't like it, but that's because they're idiots. Sorry.
One quick one before we skip over Cinema Club. Heroes and Villains. Talking about not knowing which side they're on.
Love that.
The Boys season 4 out in 3 months.
Yeah.
So which will go quick.
I'm on that.
Yeah, I was saying to Ben, my girlfriend even wants to watch it, and
Big sell.
we were saying there's a lot of women out there, not saying it's necessarily you if you're listening or watching, that won't even engage with anything that's not real or it's a bit out there. And you were saying like,
let alone if it's animated.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Yeah,
and my girlfriend is 100% that person, but I weaned her onto Gen V.
That was a
spin-off.
sneaky move, by the way. Yeah, good lad.
Because it was episode 1, season 1, so I thought we could get
into a new thing.
And then we saw it flash up on TV the other day saying season 4 out soon, and she goes, "Oh, we could watch that," and I was like,
that's a big win. That's a big
huge win.
Are you up on this?
What fell off on season 2,
Okay.
I think, was 3. Which season was it when the guy shrunk really small and went in his dick and then exploded again?
Oh, damn. Yeah, that makes me
I
squirm.
watched
even
that
to
on a
think about
train, and you know when you're really aware that people can see what you're watching.
it. That's a close the laptop moment.
Yeah.
Have you seen what this guy's watching?
When it's like hitting the sides.
I think that was last season.
Yeah, but there was one similar in Gen V that happened when she shrinks down. Yeah.
And the thing is, I knew what was coming. I could tell what was coming based on that setup, and I was like, that still threw me for an absolute loop.
So if you have been living under a rock and you're like, what is The Boys? It is basically if superheroes were in the actual real world and succumbed to vices.
Yes, and they were managed by a big marketing conglomerate.
Yes. So the premise is they're superheroes because they have this liquid inside them that they were given as a kid, and they're
Huge
managed.
spoiler for season 1, by the way, but that's cool.
Yeah, they were managed by a Disney-like conglomerate that manages their every move. So it's really quite in keeping with the times. It's fun. The action scenes are pretty shocking. Seth Rogen directs and writes. Just a good, well-made show.
I don't think I knew that actually either.
As ironic as it sounds, it's a lot more grounded than your typical superhero schlock. So that's kind of why
I think so.
Yeah,
that's
why
how
it's
I sold
popped
it to Oceana. I was like,
Nice.
this is
Yeah.
exactly. Well,
More Hancock.
no.
I really enjoyed Hancock, by the way.
Hancock.
Yeah, you are a
Hero
bit-
or a villain?
There you go.
Or flirting between the two?
He's obviously a hero by the end, but he's kind of been cucked by the end, so I don't know if that's a
I
good
He's
know,
a
thing.
hero that's susceptible as us all to life's...
Yeah, anti-hero, you'd call him.
Yeah, if you go with the proper word.
I know who heroes and villains are. I think heroes are everyone that's subscribed to our YouTube channel right now.
Hey.
And the villains are those that are watching, enjoying it, getting a little laugh, getting a little bit of ab action out of it, and then they just don't even press subscribe and they don't even press like.
That's bad form.
You are a villain, but you could easily be a hero.
You could be a hero just by even if you send us a negative comment, you're still a hero in my book.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's true. That's very true.
So yeah, we want more. So if you're watching, please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment.
Yeah.
And
if you're
onwards-
listening on Apple Music or Spotify, also be a hero, not a villain. 5 stars.
5
Because heroes
stars.
get 5 stars in it.
Heroes get 5
Heroes
stars.
get 5 stars.
Heroes
And
get 5 stars and give 5 stars.
Yeah,
That's what
and we are
heroes do.
undeniably heroes as well.
And thank you.
We're a sprinkler villain.
Oh, yeah.
We're heroes deep down. We do more good than bad, that's for sure.
I like to think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so I'm going to go in keeping on this theme. First of all, I've got two videos. One of them I'm not going to show you because it's not that essential, but I'm going to talk through it. And it's basically a video of a girl doing karaoke in front of a family. You think this is nothing. Okay. But the caption was, and this is my villain to talk about, but also it's quite really funny, is, and for the viewers, I'll put it up, is the guy told his girlfriend, the girlfriend was meeting the parents for the first time. And the guy said, my parents love karaoke. They'd really want you to do a song for them after dinner. It's kind of like our tradition. We get all guests to do it. I know it's a bit awkward. Everyone's done it. I promise you they'll love it. They'll love you forever. It'd be great. He tells his parents, by the way, she's just a bit odd and she likes to sing to people after she's eaten. So she's belting it out thinking I'm trying to win over the in-laws. And they're like nicely watching this over-enthusiastic karaoke going, dude, the bloody hell is she? Like, and he's just sat there creasing, watching it all play out.
Life needs more of these trickster people, doesn't it? Playing with people's emotions.
He's Loki. He's a villain.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly a villain in the story.
Because it's so creative.
It's so good.
You've got to have an idea, you've got to follow through on it, and then you've got to balance two sides. That is pure villain behaviour.
Yeah.
He's the puppet master.
He's watching the world burn, isn't he, around him?
How long would you'd have to tell him pretty soon after that.
Immediately.
I
As soon
reckon
as the
he
song's
probably
finished, just laugh and then explain.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because then everyone can laugh and it's a funny moment for all, isn't it? The second thing I've got is a hero, and this is Bill Nye, the scientist.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this is basically his explanation. Haven't fact checked this. I am trusting this source. I don't know how accurate it is, but I think it's something nice and it makes the world a bit easier to watch.
This is a map of the continents of the Earth showing how much ultraviolet light lands in each latitude. It turns out the closer you are to the equator, the more intense the ultraviolet. We use reds and purples. But then as you move away from the equator, we change the colors to orange, yellow, greens, and grays. Now here's the same map of the same continent with just one color. And it turns out that everybody on Earth is descended from people that live here in Africa. And then as groups of us moved around the world, the color of our skin had to change. And here's why. Our skin is where we make vitamin D. If you don't get enough ultraviolet, you don't get enough vitamin D. But if you get too much ultraviolet, then you break down your folates. You have to have it in perfect balance. And because the ultraviolet varies, the color of our skin varies. And that's it, everybody. That's why we have different colored skin. But we're all one species. But we're not treating each other fairly. Not everybody's getting an even shake. So it's time to change things.
Damn. Just ruined my whole narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to change things. Let's all live in the opposite place so we all get an equal amount of vitamin D.
Juggle those traits or whatever he said.
Traits, yeah, wonderful.
But I just thought that was a nice little hero
That's
for
nice
Dave.
little scientific breakdown
Using
as well.
science to just make people less nasty, even just for a minute.
He's such a geezer, by the way. He had a TV show a few years ago. I think he had like a Netflix type deal.
It was.
And it was good, but it just didn't pop off, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But it was good.
I think he's
enjoyed it.
really popular with people that smoke weed.
Oh, yeah.
Has like a, like same way as
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross
That's
is.
exactly what it made me think of.
He's in that thing. But I just thought that was really cool. I really liked it.
Sweet.
It's a bit fascinating, a bit sweet. But then I decided to make my own list of villains and heroes.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
So I'm going to start with the villains. These are villains that I have thought of. Please agree, disagree. If you're watching, put down your villains in the comments. Things that really grind your gears and things that make your day and that you like.
So can we just shout them out? Whatever you say, do we just say what category we think they are in? Or how would you want to say
No,
it?
I'm going to list off
You
villains
say it.
first,
Right.
and then I'm going to list off heroes.
Cool.
Okay?
Cool.
Villains, 20-mile-an-hour zones. Size of chocolate bars these days.
Nice.
The UK government.
Nice.
Drink spikers.
Nice.
Breakfast establishments. Sorry, just going back.
Yeah.
I said drink spikers, and you went, nice.
No.
I was saying nice to them all because they are all villains so far, yeah. But hold on, breakfast establishment.
Wait there. Breakfast establishments. I haven't finished.
You've lost him.
Breakfast establishments that only give you cold butter. This is actually the most frustrating thing on planet Earth when you've got toast, cold butter, and then you end up having to absolutely macerate your toast to get it on
with
there.
a hole in it.
Great use of the word macerate, by the way.
Ding, ding, ding.
Unbelievable.
But also, a little hot tip for you, if you are one of these people that find yourself in such establishment,
Sit on it.
get a pot of tea. Get a pot of tea and just rest on top of the pot of tea for about a minute, and then it's spreadable.
Or sit on it. Yeah.
Or sit on it.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Click link in bio news stories on Instagram. They are villains, aren't they? Just tell me this story or get off my feet.
Click here for part 2. Get lost.
Yeah. Prep baristas make terrible coffee. Stephen Bartlett. No more needs to be said.
Yeah. Therefore, fuel.
He's coming to the king.
Joey Barton. Right. Yeah. Joey Barton is the villain
He's
of this
trying,
shit.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's really trying. VAR, airport staff, people who shorten things like pandemic to Panny D or Savvy B for Sauvignon Blanc. They are villains. Rating everything out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
I hate this trend. Conor McGregor and estate agents.
Conor McGregor, flat out. That's just...
And they're my villains.
Colin McGregor would love that you think he's a villain.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. That's what he
And
wants.
a good villain does want that, don't they?
Yes.
They want to be known for their badness because they didn't get the energy for their goodness as a child.
But secretly, deep down, they want to be loved.
It's like the guy from Incredibles, the ginger kid. He wanted to be a hero, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Neutron. No. Like
I can't remember his name. That doesn't sound that crazy though.
No, because he looks a bit like Jimmy Neutron. He's got like the big hair.
Yeah.
Not...
Ginger, yeah.
Ginger Neutron.
What do you think about my villains?
There was a couple towards the end there that I wasn't too sure I agreed with, but for the most part, I think you're
Did
on and
breakfast
popping.
establishments stop at the ones that give cold butter?
Yes.
What about
I'm not having
restaurants that don't give out warm bread as a?
I think warm bread
when
is
you
always a
arrive?
bonus, and I want to keep it that way because it makes me happy.
Those
that I feel
they're heroes.
they're exactly.
Yeah.
It's more than exactly that.
So, as a non-football guy, I thought, or I would have thought on paper, that VAR was absolutely the hero. So it's interesting to hear that it's actually the villain.
It's more
what's happened with it.
The idea is that it's great, right? It can solve these.
Yeah.
But what it means
It's
is now
unraveled.
you've got all these idiots that don't play the game, picking the rules. There's no consistency. And then we can all see it in 4K what the error
And
is.
someone still gives you the opposite call.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's more the. Anyway, this is not for this show.
Yeah, gotcha. That's for the other podcast, the football podcast.
And now to brighten up your day.
Okay.
These are the heroes that I thought of, okay? Bus drivers who hold the door open when someone's running.
Go on.
Happened to me the other week, and I thought, go on. Most would have driven off. Bob Mortimer.
Yes.
Dogs.
Yeah. Big
People
yes.
who can laugh at themselves. First days of spring. My jammer.
Hold on.
Concise and efficient people. Oh, that is such a...
They're rare, though, aren't
Oh, bloody hell, they were rare. Ian Wright.
Yeah.
Lovely cashiers.
Yeah.
The guy who films his bike rides, I think he's called Harvey Bikes. Have you seen him? He's got like a GoPro. He'll brighten your day every day. He's brilliant. He basically films his commute on his motorbike.
Right.
And then just broadcasts how ridiculous the driving around London is. But he'll say things like, oh, you're trying to get run over, aren't you? Instead of, get out of the fucking way.
He sounds like a villain.
It's kind of, no.
He sounds
it's
like
maybe a bit too jovial
bit
for
like
He's doing it. He's trying to go undercover.
No, it's nice.
As a
It's
hero.
nice. Dave Chappelle, low maintenance friends, perfectly ripe fruit, and Ali McCoist.
Ali McCoist is a hero. For sure.
Perfectly ripe fruit.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the fruit is, but when it is that perfect middle point of the life cycle, not too hard, not too soft, not too dry, not too juicy. If I leave it,
It's too greasy.
No, good lists. Yeah, very good lists.
I also wanted to add, this is my girlfriend's, and this actually gets her to the point of, like, I fear for people's lives when this happens in front of her. Slow walkers and people that stop in the street.
Yeah.
And, you know, people that just have no awareness of their
Yeah.
surroundings in general.
And I get, like, we've all been a tourist
Villains.
somewhere, or we all have been somewhere where we don't know where we are, but have the Andrea Pirlo on you to just head on a swivel, step to the side a second, look at your phone at the side.
to the side for a second. And that's all it is, Dean.
That's all it is.
We're not saying everyone needs to be perfect and
I know
running
you
to
don't know
work.
where you are, that's fine, and I'll even help you out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But just get out Get away.
Someone who gets off an escalator at the bottom and stops to decide where they're going next.
That's
yes.
If I had a weapon,
that's in that.
Yeah.
I had one recently where there was we were going up, and the guy had like a big work boxy thing, and he just couldn't get it. He couldn't lift the thing up, and I was about 8 people back, and it was just a full pile up. So I had to do I basically hoisted myself up
To stop yourself
from going in, and then ended up just being able to skirt over. And my athleticism allowed me to just get away from
Just
it.
roar.
But the people that didn't have that or didn't back themselves to do that were just in this awkward melee on the floor that looked so. It gave me the ick seeing
you
it.
used the arms to
I
leapfrog
vaulted.
over. You vaulted.
I vaulted the scrum.
Genius.
But I wasn't getting involved.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Because once you're down, you're not getting back up.
Especially if you're 8 deep. That's
Also,
not your job anymore.
You could soon be 20 deep, and you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, they're my
just
Those
before
are
the
good.
middle.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll put in for heroes as well. Children's honesty, because I was thinking the other day, when a child just says how it is, like north, west.
Yeah.
You've been sending me all these northwest videos.
Yeah.
There is something pure about someone just saying how it is. Skipping
Get
those.
that kid off the internet.
I agree with you, but that's the
The
premise.
only
of
reason
what
I
said.
like her because she picks the holes out of Kim Kardashian's.
Anyone that can bring Kim K down a notch or two. I know what you're saying.
There you go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, there's my heroes and villains.
8-minute
really
tune,
good.
8-minute songs.
Oh no, pyramids.
What 8-minute songs as a villain?
No, hero.
Yeah, hell yeah.
okay.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
If it's the right song,
Yeah.
a good long one, with little bits to it.
Yeah.
Let's get into the double digits, man. Let's get into the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
12
Anyway,
minutes.
so I mean, you've brought us on to the next one, which I've got, and I'm going to throw a little curveball here, and I'm going to do something that we've done in a couple of weeks now, and it's going to be ask your uncles.
Ask your uncles.
Ask your bloody uncles, and I'm
Go on, the
asking
boys.
you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, we your uncles, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, for today, I'm
By
going to have
blood.
you be my uncles. And
Okay,
I'm going to
nephew.
ask you.
Snoop is here, big Snoop.
I'm going to ask you, growing up, your heroes and your villains when you were younger. When you were
okay.
growing up, who were the people you had on the posters on the wall?
Right.
Who were, or...
This is going to be so different, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
gonna be-
And that's why I wanted to ask you guys, because I knew it was going to be so
That's
different.
fun. That's fun. All right. Should we do one for one?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do a hero. Give us a hero each. And for villains, I'll do something else, actually.
I was football mad, so a lot of mine are going to be footballers.
Yeah, which is
So
fair.
Beckham.
Mine was Beckham.
Beckham, when I was younger, I actually had Michael Owen on my wall. My dad got someone to come in who was was an artist. But I bet if I saw a picture of it
Like
now,
one of those tattoos.
it would look awful of Michael Owen after he scored the goal against Argentina.
Yeah, okay.
But then I was a big Beckham
That's
fan,
pretty
and then Henry.
Yeah.
That was my cycle, but always Beckham throughout, really, I'd say. But that,
But do you feel like your image of a hero changed, though, doesn't it? As you...
yeah. I mean, you couldn't not love Thierry Henry, but Beckham was the hero because the Greece game, that was everything, wasn't it? Just captain
He's
England,
roaster.
yeah,
And yeah, he had the life, he had the wife.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah, the
And I wanted to be a footballer. It was
Yeah.
like I wanted to be him in every way.
I think anyone that was
even did my
obsessed
hair
with
like
football
him.
when they were younger was Beckham.
Yeah,
Probably.
anyone born around the early 90s would have idolised him at one point.
And Ben.
I thought I was going to, as you asked me that question, I thought I was going to really struggle. And as I was having that thought, a much larger thought came into my head and said, shut your mouth, you know exactly who it is.
Wesley Snipes.
I love Wesley Snipes. I've
just
got
picturing,
a
like,
lot of
6-year-old.
time for Wesley Snipes.
Or Judge Dredd, you had a t-shirt.
I was obsessed with Bruce Lee when I was a kid. I mean,
that's a good
obsessed
one. That is a good one.
beyond
I can imagine that,
comprehension.
yeah.
That is a good
I would
one.
watch I'd have a cycle of the main movies like Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon. I would just watch one every single night, and I would fall asleep with it on. I'd watch it twice.
way.
I'd watch the whole thing through, rewind to the beginning, and then watch it again so that I could fall asleep watching it.
That's
I
cute.
was just
That's very
obsessed.
cute.
And
Were
I
you
would
shadow boxing and stuff like
yeah,
that?
I was doing
Yeah.
everything. I was working out every single day. I was just doing push-ups, sit-ups, doing all those things, stretching all the time. That's before I ever did any training. But it
formally. Got you the appetite
and it
training.
got me into I this is just what I want. It's so cool. Never see someone kick or punch a man, and it'd be the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah. It was everything was just different, wasn't it? I never had the access to it as much as some people did.
Well, because it's way before even I don't even know how I stumbled. It was way before my time because these movies are like the 70s, and I just was like, I had them on VHS. I was like, these things are the coolest things.
Yeah.
He's making these crazy noises that I've never even. I've not seen anybody do anything even remotely.
And he's
like
not big,
this.
but he's just so ripped.
Just
he's like
unbelievably ripped when he gets his when he does that one scene in what's the one where he fights Chuck Norris? I hate that, I can't remember, but he's doing all his flexing and stuff, and he's just like he's absolutely monstrously in shape. It's so cool.
Do you think that basically like a superhero, isn't it? That's how rich
he was untouchable.
Do you know what I mean?
In the movies, he was like, didn't matter what happened to him, he just was like,
and
he's the
this
man.
is kind of what Beckham was like, a superhero. When he
He was
scored
a
that long
superhero.
goal, or like when he
was
could
a
do
superhero.
anything with someone at the peak of their powers that can do
Yes.
anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of someone
perfect.
non-sporting. I mean, as kids, it's always going to be someone in the limelight, isn't it? I guess you could
Michael
go,
Jackson,
you know,
a little bit.
You could make it,
yeah.
You could make it a bit more insular and say like, you know, your granddad or something if they were a hero, because I know mine was for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how those things actually completely mold you for life without having any idea of the importance of those people at the time.
And those people don't even know you exist, but they've had such a profound impact on your entire life.
There's no way you would have liked all the things you like now if it wasn't for Bruce Lee.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because that's what it shapes. It puts the blinkers on.
Started you doing that, and then every decision after that.
Because who was yours, by the way? Did you say who yours was? Beckham as well.
Beckham, definitely.
Yeah.
I used to try and part my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Give myself curtains and stuff, buy real cream and things like that.
And that hair is not one that goes willingly to a party. Is it?
Trying to tame that, man.
It's gone all over pipe.
What about villains?
Yeah, so what I was gonna ask you another couple of questions. I was gonna ask you if you know, they say don't meet your heroes. Well, have you ever had a hero unravel, or like, you know, or can you think of a time when it might not be it could be like Michael Jackson, really, in a way for me.
We met quite a few on the Olympics,
one.
didn't we? And there was a few that were a bit sharp, and there's a few that were just great.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
didn't meet
some
many
of the people
dicks.
weren't probably
They weren't heroes, but they were. Yeah.
You've seen them in the limelight growing up, and you've had an image given to you of them by the media or whatever, and then you meet them, and then they're just a bit.
But I think that's true. Anything. I don't want to. If you idolize a man, you're going to find some flaws. I mean, women are going to take out of this equation. I'm just speaking from a man-on-man perspective. There's no way you could look at someone's biopic and not find, like, I mean, Martin Luther King cheated. You know, you're talking about you know, Muhammad Ali was awful with some things. He knocked his his wife about. He cheated on as well. Like, you know, everyone has things that they're not too proud of. So I think if you dig deep,
supposedly had a couple of scandals here.
I think if you dig deep enough, you'll find it. I guess it's
Hey, we're all human, eh?
It's
You know?
human. Yeah.
There we go. We're all human.
I'm trying to think. I think Michael Jackson would be the one for a lot of people, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I like to just bury my head in the sand on that.
I'm still exactly the same.
Yeah. And just listen to
I just want to be able to listen to tunes and not think about any of the other stuff.
She's out of my life, you know. What a tune. You know?
What a discography.
Yeah, it really is.
Unbelievable
Honestly,
body of
brilliant.
work. It's just
Brilliant.
ridiculous.
And then, so the last one would be most hated villain. And I'm going to say from TV or film, because it's easier to. No,
Most
I don't want to
hated
go.
villain.
Can I do a
through
loved villain?
persons?
Because I really loved some TV villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that all right?
That's where you want to go. With
I
it.
think I love more than I hate. I think a good villain is
If you don't have a good villain, the show's not good.
no
Straight up.
And a good villain, you may agree or disagree, has to have some cause of logic to their hatred for the world. So, like, you know, like there's always that thing where you go, do you know what? I don't really disagree with his motives.
Like
here.
Thanos wanting to take away half of humanity.
I disagree
because
with
it's too much
his
people.
final action, but I can kind of get why he feels that way.
Yeah.
You know,
But well, okay. So when I thought of heroes and villains, probably one of the first things I thought of was, and it goes back to The Boys, Homelander.
Homelander is up there with one of the most hateable characters.
In fact, I think that's why I stopped watching it, because
He's brilliant though. He's brilliant though.
I couldn't stand looking at his face anymore.
I don't think I hate Homelander, you know that?
Of course
The,
you
mil-
do.
the milk scene.
Do you have a?
Oh, there's some problems there.
Homelander is
yeah.
a great villain. He's a great villain for the complete opposite of what I just said. He's the hero that does everything right on the face of it.
Yeah, but underneath,
everything else you
he's a
actually question
horrible,
the
bad
root.
man.
So it's the inverse of the good villain that you like.
I think there are shades of him that have shown where I say, like, there's more to this man to be understood. Where, like, let's put him. Who was the big bad?
Now
villain
you're just
that
trying
was,
to understand it.
Who was the big bad villain that was absolutely out and out evil? Stormfront,
Yeah, the Nazi woman.
which was hard to reconcile because she was really attractive, and I was like, oh, she's a Nazi. That's not really going to work out. That's
why they did it.
That's what they did. But
Well, you don't think any Nazis were hot?
Homelander was like, I'm not on that.
Yeah.
Homelander was like, I'm still doing like my absolute crazy shit, but I am not on like what you're on.
Yeah, not genocide.
So like, I thought okay,
He's after himself, isn't he? He's not on a.
He's soup first, and also I guess it's also problematic because I've read the comics, and therefore I start to think about some of his motivations in the comics and some of the stuff where I feel bad for him. So I'm not going to say much about that, but I don't think he's like a flat out just a terrible, awful villain. He's not Joffrey Lannister.
I think he is.
Or Fritzl.
Yeah, so I did a bit of digging on like villains, and I just like Mugabe, Hitler, Fritzl.
That's
and
why
I was
didn't
like,
want to take
these aren't that good.
I didn't want to take it there.
Can I tell you about my favourite villain growing up?
Yeah.
Going back to being a little boy, Dick Dastardly.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, what a boy!
You wanted it, but that episode where he won, and it was like the cutest
Give it
thing.
to him, yeah. Give it to him. He's
Dick
earned
Dastardly
it.
was great.
He's always. It's what's so crazy is that he was always in the lead.
Yeah.
He was always in the lead,
till
but
the end.
stopped to do his tricks.
Yeah.
Stopped to do a little trap. Like, mate, you were already winning the
You
race.
have the raw talent.
Just finish.
You have the car, you have the talent.
You got the dog.
You got the
Do you know what I
sidekick.
mean?
Yeah, it was a great little
Just finish
catchy
the race.
That's
Wile E.
good.
Coyote.
Yeah.
Oh, he was never.
Dr.
good.
Evil, a villain that will never ever succeed.
Yeah.
Basically,
But
kind
Wile
of.
E. Coyote, he was so close all the time, wasn't he? The same with like Dick Dastardly, no?
He
was always
deserved that
close.
meal.
Who is the best like serious villain? Though we've mentioned a couple of silly ones.
Hans Gruber,
Hans Gruber,
Die Hard.
pretty strong. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker is always going to be up there.
I mean, he is
From
the
a
reason
cultural-
that film is good. Because
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, you take that performance out and you put somebody else in there, that is not an out and out good movie. Straight up isn't.
Arnie,
Oh,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
That's
You're not
good.
sending me to the cooler. You're not sending me to the cooler. His line delivery is so astronomically good.
Good film.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Let us know in the comments who your favourite villains, favourite heroes are. This is good.
Yeah.
Keep
Heroes growing up, villains on TV.
Yeah.
Heroes were villains on TV.
Oh, Dean, I'm glad you took it there, mate. That is fantastic work. Yeah, enjoy that.
It's time for Laugh of the Week, though, and I'm gonna send you something, just so you can have it on your phone. Maybe Ben could put it on his, and I can.
Yeah, I'll show it to both.
share it. But this basically what has been going on. You know how at US sport they they'll do things to entertain the crowd because the sport is so often dull, right? So this is something.
Yeah,
Baseball.
looking at you, baseball.
Yeah. So this, I think, was at a basketball game. I'm not quite sure, but it's basically a new thing called Snackwoods, and I'll let you
already
watch
hate
it.
it. All right, here we go.
There's no sound.
Okay, fair.
I'd have to take it off because of the song.
Oh,
So they're basically 5 people in the crowd who have eaten and then put it in reverse.
Oh,
that's actually quite creative. I
It's
like that.
funny, but there's some.
no, passing it over to your wife is
Oh, that's
crazy.
Put it in his pocket. Buckle up.
I don't like it.
I love this. This is great.
It's
They're gonna get something perfect with it. As
they're
well,
gonna
do you know what I
they're
mean?
gonna get someone getting a hot dog. Like if I knew that was happening, I'd get a hot dog like that and go.
You got some skills to do that though, lad. Tell you what.
Yeah, isn't it?
Glizzy.
Oh god.
Have you ever seen the guy that wears the full glizzy outfit?
No, why is there a glizzy outfit?
It was because it's like this white American-y frat boy type humor, isn't it?
Right, that bing bong stuff.
Yeah. Oh no.
Reminds me of something I was going to show you last week, which was a guy from Cape Town that made a hat which had 1,000 eggs on it.
Oh my god!
Made of 1,000 eggs.
Mate, I thought that was a guy in blackface. How crazy is
Oh,
that?
Oh my god, how much for the fig? It goes crazy. How much for the glasses?
That's my man, yeah. I mean, we got the Glazucci's.
Oh
so
my
about
God.
12,000 on them.
12,000. That's crazy, bro. How much for the bag? How much for the bag?
Yeah, we got that Glizzy Baton, so about 8,500.
80. Dang, bro. How much for the belt?
Yeah, we got 16,000 on the custom Glizzy, so yeah.
Dang, bro. Yo, how much for the shoes?
Yeah, I mean, we got the Glizzy Boost 500, so
Dang.
Glizzy.
How did we get here?
How have we ended up?
How did we get here?
So
Brilliant.
good. Wow, where you were.
Well, that's my laugh of the week.
Yeah, we got this. I like that. I want to see more of those because one day they're going to.
We could do our next segment in reverse.
Okay.
Birthday
It
pie,
has been a
pints of
minute.
cream,
Well done, chocolate.
bonbons.
Oh, sponge cake. My favorite.
Time-wise, I think we need to we'll do this.
It has been a minute.
Oh hell yeah! I'm looking
Been
forward
a
to this.
minute. And let me tell you, I'm back with a bang. Strong.
Yeah,
It's going to be a strong episode.
Big claims, mate. Big claims.
You want to do your thing, boys? Where's your?
Or should
where's
we-
your?
We should somehow do it in reverse. I don't know how this is going to work. I really didn't think that through.
We'll try a thing and then just see how bad it looks
Yeah, I'm just
afterwards.
going to put them on.
Put it on and play that in reverse. If you can. I mean,
It
taking
just
them off.
wouldn't be anything. Yeah, it would just be them off.
So, Confectionery Corner, we probably had about 30 new subscribers since we did this last. So, Dean, why don't you tell
Well,
the people?
okay, Confectionery Corner is. I like a confectionery. I love a Greg's. I love a Mr. Kipling. And, you know, we just thought we'd dedicate a whole little section to the weird and wonderful bits of confectionery that I can find roaming the streets of London.
And boy, have we travelled the world, haven't
Yeah,
we?
we've been around a
Non-UK
bit.
audience.
But guess what?
Completely
We're
confused.
going
right
home, boys.
now. Oh, are we?
Oh,
Is it a Mr. Kipling?
give me a Cadbury's finger.
Going home.
Mr. Rudyard?
So I've actually to make today's one even better. I've brought in two. I'm going.
Oh, go on, lad.
you've got a choice.
Like a variation.
Sport for choice.
You've got the first one, and then you've got a second one coming.
They're both on the same plate. Oh, second one coming.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Me
And,
to you.
do you know what? I'm not even gonna give these any. I'm not going to give this one any facts. I'm just going to let you.
So we're just not going to do the segment then, yeah? Gotcha. All right.
Just going to let you eat it and tell you what it is.
Because I feel like you're going to know what
Is
it
this a
is.
Rice Krispie cake?
There
You
you
can't
go.
touch it yet.
Well,
Oh.
he's just went straight in, hasn't he? So he's ruined the segment anyway, whether I had facts or not. And he's picked it up and he's gone, is it a Rice Krispie cake? And
He wins again.
just try it.
Is it actually?
Just try it.
Have you just bought some squares?
I bought squares made by my mother's hand.
Oh, wow.
A hero of mine. Hey,
Wow, okay.
how about that?
That's beautiful that you said that.
You know? I thought it all tied in quite nicely. Because let's face it,
Oh, that's
my mum's
very
a bit-
nice.
my mum's a bit of a hero.
She's a
She's a
hero
bit
of
a
mine.
legend.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God forbid. I'm messing.
Yeah. But it's like Little Britain. These were made by Mrs. Barrett.
Mrs. Singh over the road made these. Oh. Do beg your pardon.
Okay, well, before we finish that one off, let me...
I'm gone, mate.
Oh, is it? Well, there's another one here that my mum's made, and these are light as a feather. I don't know what they are. I'll let you
do we even need a-
decipher them with a blindfold on.
Do we even need a blindfold?
Well,
Are you trying to pass
no,
that back to me?
you've got the cloche now, Sam. There you
Oh,
go.
for God's
That's the
sake.
one. That's the one. Pick that up. There you go. This is another one. This is round 2. Give that to. Watching you guys do this
What
is
is
absolutely
going
brilliant,
on?
by the way.
Right,
pick that
have we
up
got
then.
some facts
Go
on this one?
Hands, fingers down. Go on. There it is.
Oh, my God.
This is it's dense. It's a dense.
Oh, lush brownie.
No, it's not. There you go. Lush brownie. He's got it all in one. Look at this guy. He's not even stopping for air.
So, sorry, have you just eaten it?
Yeah,
We're not getting
he's
a
in.
fact.
He's in. These were again made by mother's hand, and they're fucking. I mean, sorry, these are
There
nice.
are no facts.
These
The
are-
fact is, it
the
was
fact
made
is,
by his mom.
These were made by my mom, and
Who's
they're
a hero.
bloody brilliant. So I thought I'd
in this
bring in
one?
thought I'd bring in something my mum made. You know what I mean? What better confectionery?
Yeah, she is now my hero, as well, honestly. These are great.
How light is that cake? It's like eating chocolate cloud, isn't it? With nuts in.
How much more of that have you got at home?
I think it's all in my bag, you know. The chocolate one, I bought the whole lot, so feel free to.
Well, shout out to your mum.
Yeah.
Does she watch and listen?
Possibly. She wanted me to send her the link the other when I saw
One of them.
So
Send
then
us the
no,
link.
then, yeah.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
We've probably got a little bit of time to get.
All those new people have just tuned in. Are so confused by what that segment was.
Yeah.
Just watch me and you eat loads of stuff.
Yeah, that's not normally what it is.
Usually I don't bring in something my mum made. I find something a bit random and I find out 3 interesting facts about what I brought in, and the guys try and guess what it is.
There we go.
But Ben straight away guessed it was a Rice Krispie cake because it feels like a Rice Krispie cake.
Because he's such a fat bastard.
Yeah.
He eats everything.
He smelled it getting off the elevator.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
We are going backwards.
We are looking backwards. So we've got some time for it now. So we've got a little historic hilarity.
Yep.
That is indeed the name of this. It's probably not as funny as you might like, but I'm just going to give it to you anyway. It's, again, in keeping, guys, with the theme of heroes and villains, but these guys are very much heroes. So I've got a little story here about a young man called... First, well, it's not his name, but
Adolf.
This is what he was. Wow. Yeah, he didn't make it onto this list.
A young man who had visions of a world that was all but different from the one he lived in.
Yeah, he was an art major. Okay, so December 1944, guys, set the
You
scene.
like cars?
First Lieutenant John R. Fox, stationed in an Italian village of Summa Colonia, along with the 92nd Infantry Division, also known as the Buffalo Soldiers. Cool, that's right.
Dread like Rasta.
Come on. So Fox and a small party of men volunteered to stay behind in the city, which though under Allied control at the time, was facing an advance of German troops. Fox's job specifically was to call out defensive artillery strikes from the second story of a house that they were stationed in. As more and more German soldiers arrived, though, Fox was forced to call them in closer and closer to his current position. Eventually, Fox and his team were simply overmatched, and the announcement came out, and the call over the radio was, fire it. Fox was basically saying, send the artillery onto my current position. The operator on the other side tried to argue the case, and he just said, there's more of them here than there are us. And that was it. And boom, Fox's whole battalion gets wiped out, but nigh on 100 100 Nazi soldiers that were advancing were also taken out. And I just thought, that is like, there's that little bit of a man, I think, even still to these days, where you kind of, that one heroic sacrifice.
Yeah.
You'll set yourself against all the odds, but you're going to go down swinging. And I think that's exactly what those boys did. Got the Medal of Honor given to them in 1997.
But the American, were they?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very cool, very interesting.
It gets a bit watered down because you've watched so many films that have similar things. But when you actually think about that,
Yeah.
and you go in, right, you wake up that day not knowing what your day is going to have in store for you. You get up to a bell tower, see impending doom coming your way, and you just go, well, this is what's going to happen now.
Nothing in life can really get you prepared for that sort of stuff.
I think it's better to be that way, though, in a way, because, you know, if you go down the other route of just getting all scared and emotional, you'll have a much worse ending, won't you? He probably went feeling quite just.
And he didn't even have...
And he wouldn't have known much about it either, I imagine, if he got dropped.
God, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, man?
It's a tough one.
What men?
What
Yeah.
men?
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
And they didn't even have Armageddon with Bruce Willis to look at for the...
To get him out of the slump.
to sort of
GM.
give him something to go off. You know what I mean?
Sorry. So if we go to war with Putin, right, and us three are up a bell tower, right, and you go, how far do you reckon they're away? And Ben goes, oh, probably about 1 hour, 56 minutes. Perfect. Let's get Armageddon out, boys. We're going down swinging.
He's been listening to it on audiobook for the last 2 days anyway.
What's the main song in Armageddon? It's Aerosmith.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah,
With
just
his-
have that going out to that. So that's quite a good song to die to, actually. I think.
Yeah, not
it is a
bad
good
actually.
song.
Like,
yeah,
there's something anthemic
I
about
keep
it.
thinking about the bit with the crackers going down south, you know?
Jesus.
I've taken your story and just take it for a walk, haven't I? Sorry, mate. No.
So, right, the last little one, and this is a little sendy one. A lot of people already know this story. Desmond Doss. Yeah, you might have heard the name. It was in. He was quite famously depicted in a film a few years ago by Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge.
I didn't know him, but I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah. Super interesting story, but I'll give you the top down. I won't go too into detail because obviously it is a film that you can go and check out yourselves. But Desmond Doss's religious beliefs, which were he was a Seventh-day Adventist, forbade him from carrying a gun or threatening another human life during the time that he was drafted in the Second World War, which is obviously a bit of a nightmare to be, not able to touch a weapon or kill a man. It's pretty tough. He was obviously the target of ridicule and often much worse things by his brothers in arms and superiors due to his unique disposition and what he was willing to put himself through. However, due to his bravery and his belief in the importance of human life, he managed an incredible feat of saving practically about 50 men, all while under fire in a really harrowing situation.
Where they were in what island? They were in the islands, the Pacific Islands, weren't
Japan,
they? Yeah.
And he was later awarded the Medal of Honor by President Truman, who said he had saved 75 men. And Doss was like, no, actually, it was closer to 50. Because he's like just a modest man.
Yeah.
A modest man of the cloth. Modest man of the cloth. I've obviously omitted so many details there because I just think there's a documentary that you can go and check out and a film that would be much better storytellers for this story because I think it's really worth checking out. It's a really, really phenomenal film. The documentary is called The Conscientious Objector.
Yeah, that's the one,
and then
isn't
obviously the wonderfully cinematic Hacksaw Ridge would be well worth checking out as well.
When he's holding that rope.
Oh my God.
You can just think of the pain his hands are going through.
Oh my God.
Just coarse rope, dry hands anyway, because they're going to be dry as anything. Oh, that scene really sticks with you.
It really does.
Made me think of one thing. Going to war, not being able to hold a gun. It's just like being a metapod, isn't it? All you can do is harden and hope for the best.
But your defense is not rising, is it? Because
your defense is topped out.
You're a man, and a bullet's still gonna.
I mean, I tell you what, though, like sticking to your beliefs, but then also fighting for your country. Like, you'd think that he would just be a conscious objector and stay at home. But the fact that he had the backbone to stick to both things that he believed in and still to his merit did an amazing job. Despite, I bet he got pelters every night.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way he would have been bullied non-stop.
Absolutely bullied.
But you know what, though? It's a bit mad because he was... As a gun is at war there to take out the enemy, he was basically there to save his people that needed saving. Really, you know what I mean? If someone was in the shit, he would just be there. Oh, I'm free. I ain't got nothing to do. You know, sort of in a way.
Yeah.
Not like as.
No, I see the logic on that.
But he was basically there.
He's your holding mid.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not thinking about getting forward. He's just thinking, right, if they counter, I've got to be there.
Yeah. Sweeping up.
So he just, maybe he inspired Claude Makelele. Yeah.
Or if there was a couple more of them in war, then you'd save more people.
Yeah. I wonder what's a better attribute, being able to kill 100 people or save. I imagine save.
What if you saved the ones that needed killing?
Well, now you're getting to you're real deep waters, aren't you?
I really enjoyed this this theme.
I thought it was good. Yeah, get legs to it.
Good on.
We could probably spin about 10 more episodes out on Heroes and Villains. So
we'll no doubt revisit it, I think.
Well, we'll revisit in a different under a different lens maybe, but that was really good. Good theme.
Glad.
What I will say though, next week it's his theme.
Oh God.
So strap in, boys.
And it's not dark matter that I said in the chat.
It's going to be all the different uses of carrot.
And guys, if you get a chance to be a hero this week, take it, please. Yeah.
Search for the hero inside yourself.
I need a hero. See this all going on under it.
I could be your hero.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, we won't keep you any longer. Thank you all for watching, listening, and we'll see you all next week.